When you were growing up,
Yeah.
there's always one kid at your school or in your neighborhood that your parents would say, do not hang out with them. They are a bad influence.
I have a very specific person that comes to mind.
Me too, Patrick.
And
you know who you are.
You're thinking, oh, God, my parents are so dramatic. Like, what's the worst thing that could happen?
True.
And then 30 years later, you're on the Masked Speaker confessing to something that you never told anyone, all because that kid convinced you to do it.
Oh, man.
One of our listeners finally wants to tell her story of what happened when she hung out with the bad influence in her neighborhood in the Masked Speaker coming up at 7:10.
You don't know me.
A confession I can't take back.
I am.
The Masked Speaker.
Texas 78592 says, I always make up words in Scrabble, and if people question me, I just insist they're words in Welsh.
Can you play in a different language?
It's still English.
If people ever
it's all
question
English.
me in a board game, I usually just get angry and flip it over and run out of the room crying.
Or you cry.
Yeah.
Great, now nobody wins.
Everybody handles stress their own way, and if you want to confess a secret, you can do it here in Welsh or in English. We'll hear you out no matter what, and one of our listeners wants to come clean today. She's chosen to go by the name Christine for this segment. So, Christine, welcome to the show.
Hi everyone.
Welshcom.
Oh, my God, you were waiting for
I
that.
don't even understand what that means, Jose. You're
It's
gonna have
Welsh.
to.
I liked
That's
it.
how
wow.
I say hello in
I liked
Welsh.
it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Christine, the voice changer is on. You are the Masked Speaker. Whenever you're ready, let's hear your confession.
Okay, so when I was 11 years old, I had a little bit of a rebellious phase. And
Okay.
I know that might seem Mickey Mouse being 11.
Yeah, like the whole I'm going to run away, I swear, and then you make it to the driveway and
I don't
turn around.
know. The town I grew up in at 11 years old, there were some kids doing some bad things already.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that.
Chain smoking cigarettes.
Not joking.
Oh, wow.
Really
Yeah.
depends where you're from, but you
Yeah.
went through that rebellious phase at age 11?
Yeah, and so one of those kids that you mentioned was my neighbor,
Okay.
and my parents did not like me hanging out with her. Like, it was just, she was a little rough around the edges, you know?
Bad kids.
I feel like
Those
everyone
are the-
has a friend that your parents are like,
Yeah.
no.
yeah. I don't want you seen around
Yeah.
so-and-so's house.
I mean, the thing is, they're usually right.
Right.
Yeah.
Parents are usually right on the mark.
So, like, of course I hung out with her as much as I could.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
And
She's the fun one.
there was like a Target near our neighborhood that we could walk to, and we never had the money to buy anything, but we would just hang out by Target.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Me and my buddies would ride bikes to the gas station
Already.
and just hang out.
I'm like, what'd you steal?
Oh, stealing? No.
Dude, 11-year-old, they're notorious for like being little shoplifters, stealing candy,
Wait a
lifting
minute.
things.
Well, so the video game phases were out, and it was just a modest Sims game, but this is what I wanted so desperately.
Oh, the
So you're
Sims.
admitting you're looking at the Sims video game.
That game was awesome.
Yes, but I mean, I mentioned it like in passing as a kid, not like purposely when we went to Target, right? Like, I just was like, oh, that's what I want.
Oh, got it.
Oh, so you were telling your friend this. I see.
Yeah, and she knew, she knew that's what I wanted. And so one day we were hanging out just per usual, and she literally takes out of her sweatshirt when we walk out of Target the Sims game, and she goes, I got you something.
Oh, no.
The little bad girl stole it for
Yeah.
you.
Are you?
She did? Oh, my God.
But that's an act of kindness.
What a good
though.
friend.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's a
I feel
kid
like
thing.
I feel like Jeffrey's mind's blown. Like, what? That would
What?
never happen where I went to school.
Why didn't she just purchase
Yeah.
it? Did she not have a credit card on her?
At least call your parents on the phone and have them give the
They're
credit card
broke,
number.
Jeff.
I mean, what's the whole point of having a separate bank account from mom and dad?
Oh, my
Yeah.
God. Well, how did you react when you saw that she pulled this, like, stolen video game out?
Yeah, for you.
Well, it wasn't even the fact that she stole it. She had a whole other system going.
Uh-oh.
She pulls it out and says, I got you this. And then as I look at it, before I can react to the fact that she stole, she says to me, now what are you going to give me?
Oh, my God.
She's
Wait
a
a minute.
smart, savvy 11-year-old businesswoman.
Dude, and
Yeah.
you're going through so many emotions because you're like, oh my God, the cool, popular bad girl likes me. Oh my God, now she needs something from me.
Now we need a favor.
Yes.
Oh, so what do you give to her?
Well, so I don't even know how we got to this point, but I guess I just knew that she was more advanced. Like, it wasn't that she needed me to go. She wasn't setting me up to go steal for her. She clearly knew how to do that. She wanted something more valuable. So I guess she put it in my head. My mom has jewelry. So I went into my mom's bedroom.
Oh, my God.
I went into the jewelry box, and I had no idea how much this stuff was worth. So I just took a small handful of stuff.
Handful?
Oh, my God.
No.
Please tell me she's a mom like me where she buys all of her jewelry at H&M.
So it gets worse because she did this a few times. You know, to steal something from Target was an automatic trade from me.
Oh.
And so wait, you're giving her valuable jewelry and she's stealing little things from Target?
Yeah, this girl already knows how to pawn stuff, okay?
She's like getting the upper end of all
Somebody's
this.
got older siblings that have been in and out of juvie.
I mean, at a certain point, if you're stealing handfuls of jewelry, your mom has to notice.
Gotta be. That's thousands of dollars.
Of course my mom notices. Like, she absolutely noticed.
Yeah.
Oh.
My mom freaks out. I overhear her talking to my dad about it. And then she calls her house cleaner. And she fires her, saying that she's the only one that could have been in there.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, you're off scot-free. Good, then.
Oh, man.
I felt so bad, but I still did not feel bad enough to come clean.
Yeah. You're still living with that guilt right now.
Yes, absolutely. And so the only other thing that happened in this bizarre situation is I did feel bad enough to go to the girl. I was like, hey, give me the rings back. Like at 11, I just thought, whatever looked the most expensive, give me the rings.
Yeah.
And so she did give me a couple of rings back, and I snuck them back in the jewelry box. And then, of course, my mom, she calls the housekeeper and completely apologizes, like she must have misplaced them, and she hired her back.
Oh.
Oh, weird.
Okay.
But she never found out it was me.
Oh,
Never
man.
found out it was me.
And that house cleaner has every reason and right to steal as much as she wants.
Yeah.
Because even if she gets caught, she can be like, oh, this again?
Yeah.
Come on.
And it must be so weird when your mom was out in the neighborhood and saw the other girl with all these, like, nice, fancy jewels on. It's like, that's a little odd.
Little kid.
An 11-year-old with a wedding ring on.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my God.
wow.
That's awful.
Oh, man.
At least
I mean, do you buy
Drama.
your mom only jewelry now for every holiday?
No, actually, I'm like terrified of jewelry. I just don't even want it.
Good flashback. Text in 78592 if you have a confession that you've been holding on to. We can hide your identity, mask your voice, and make you the next mass speaker. We got your phone tap coming up next.